What is up, everybody? What's happening? Good morning. Hello, hello. Today's Saturday for me. It's going to be Monday for you when you watch this video, but it's the weekend. I'm happy about that. I'm happy. Get to record a little bit more, get to relax a little bit. It's a wonderful thing. Today, we are starting a new series on this page in an attempt to kind of branch out and diversify a little bit, but in the name of research. So we are going to call this series Clinical Research. The premise of this is we are going to be playing some other decks in the modern format. Up to this point, we've focused primarily on Yawgmoth. We're gonna branch out. And the reason I'm doing this is to develop a better understanding of the play patterns associated with these decks. So as a Yawgmoth player, I will better know how to navigate those matchups in the future. So all of this is through the lens of me being a black-green Yawg player. Today, we're playing a deck that I've wanted to play against, but have not gotten paired into, so I'm taking it upon myself to just play the deck and get an idea of what's going on here. And that is the newest version of Mill. With Phyrexia All Will Be One, this deck acquired this fella, Jace the Perfected Mind, which is pretty sweet artwork, I must say. I really like it. Variation of Jace the Mind Sculptor. And it seems like it was just custom built for this deck. And a lot of people have ranted and raved that this is like taking this deck up a notch and, you know, Mill is a viable strategy again. And I kind of want to see, I want to get a feel for, you know, how does it change this deck? Is this deck a legitimate threat at this point? And just see how it plays out. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to play with Dimir Mill. And this is just a list that I took off of MTG Goldfish. I believe the username was Suspect and then some numbers after it. So this is their list. And we're going to give it a run through a league and see how it goes. I'll probably do about one of these a week. So we'll stick primarily to Yawg content, but I will branch out a little bit and I'll do a different deck every week to get a little more insight. So let me know in the comments what you think about this idea, if you want me to test specific decks, and I'd be happy to do that. Let's jump into our league and see how it goes. All right, we have gotten paired. This is match one of our modern league with Dimir Mill. I am playing against Azax, and we are on the play. Let's see how this goes. Let's see what Dimir Mill is all about. Opening 7, we don't have any crab people, but I guess this is a keep. I honestly don't really know, but I think we're gonna give this a go. So we'll keep it. We'll see how it goes. This feels like this is probably on the weak end of a hand with this deck. I don't know. Feels like this is borderline a mulligan. Our opponent mulligans to 6. I'm sure there's some pretty like steadfast rules when it comes to this deck in terms of like if you don't have X cards, like maybe if you don't have a crab in your hand, you mulligan the hand. So this feels a little suspect, but me being an inexperienced pilot with this deck, we're going to run with this. I think we're just going to start basic island, and I'm likely going to visions during their turn. Try to draw into something. All right, the lead, Botanical Sanctum. So this is likely Living End, if I had to guess. All right, one tap. All right, we drew a crab people, which is really good. Play out our fetch land, target them, save targets, auto yield. Oh, okay. I see what you're doing. We're gonna get rid of the Allosaurus Riders with the surgical here. And I think they just probably lose once we do that. They're thinking about doing something here. We're playing against, what's this deck called? NeoBrand? I have not seen this deck in a long time. And I feel like what we're doing is probably okay against them. We'll get a Watery Grave. And I don't think we need to pay 2 life. Alright. And then during their draw step, we're gonna hit these Allosaurus Riders. I guess whether we shock or not, it doesn't really matter. Okay, they Endurance themselves, sure. I didn't realize they ran main deck Endurance, but that's pretty good. pretty good. So they're playing around that a little bit. We hit nothing with our surgical. Okay, they have 2 mana in pool. And now if they have their combo, they can execute it. Does not seem that they do. So we'll move back to our turn. Visions of Beyond. Okay. So we're going to lead on our swamp here. We'll mill them, and then I think we're going to get our Jason to play. All right, there goes another Allosaurus Rider. So we know there's 2 on the bottom of the library and 1 in the graveyard right now. Okay, so we'll have them mill, and then we'll draw a card. Okay, another crab, not bad. Crab, not bad. Should we attack? Probably not. Probably not. Stay back on defense. It's unclear to me if they actually play fetch lands or not. I guess they don't. Alright, Delta was good. We're going to uptick our Jace, play out our second crab, play out our Delta, save targets here, mill, 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 always yield. Okay, and we'll fetch here. We're pretty close to just hard casting our Archive Trap, so we can do that next turn. They're up to 18 cards in graveyard, so next turn we'll be able to draw 6 cards off of this Visions. The Visions and the Jace, which we'll see if that's good enough to finish the game off. They're up to 4 mana here. They're drawing a card. 19 cards in the graveyard. Alright, Fatal Push. Not really what we're looking for. I'm going to play this Watery Grave untapped. We'll start by milling them here. Grizzlebrand Endurance into the graveyard. Okay, and they scoop it up. Alright, going to game 2 here. I feel like Mystical Dispute is probably important. They are playing Endurance, so I wonder if we play Soul Guide Lantern. Definitely Extirpate. I wonder if Crypt Incursion is worth it. I forget what their win con is. I think it's that dinosaur thing. I think that's how they win. But, alright, let's see. Maybe 2 Soul Guides, 2 Disputes, and 2 Extirpates. I think that's fine. We're going to get rid of Fatal Pushes. Those seem pretty bad. And Visions also seem a little suspect. So maybe we run with that. This deck can turn 1, but I think this is where we want to be. Maybe we bring in Ensnaring Bridge. Does that cut them off of a kill? If they can't attack through? It might. Maybe we bring that in. What else would I shave here? Maybe a Jace. I feel like Tasha's is probably pretty bad against them too. They have like 7 and 8 drops. Yeah, maybe we just shave all the Tashas. Keep Jason, bring in that, and go back up on these. Yeah, Tasha's is like 3 mana, mill 3 cards. Probably not good enough. They have the Arconian Worm or whatever it's called. It's a 15 drop. Yeah, Tasha's not good. It's good that we got rid of that one, I think. Alright, I think this hand is fine. It's a little slow, but I think it's good enough. We do have some interaction with this Surgical, so I think that's important. Himmel to 6, they lead with a Gemstone Mine into a Serum Visions. Put 1 top, 1 bottom, sure. Our turn, we're going to play out our Watery Grave. Yes. I feel like Soul Guide was not a bad draw. We'll see if it has any impact. Turn 2. Hope not to die. Alright, Waterlogged Grove. Alright, so they got the mana up for a NeoBrand here. Or a Neoform into a Grizzlebrand, I should say. Alright, there's the Grizzlebrand. They'll draw 7. And the first shoal that they cast, I think we're going to be surgicaling that. Okay, they do nothing. We'll see what they discard here. Have to imagine they're going to discard, and I mean, they'll probably have an Endurance in their hand. We'll see what they dump from here. I mean, just like Grizzlebrand attacking us down is a legitimate, like, strategy. Alright, they get rid of a whole bunch of nonsense. Okay. Alright, so I think we lead on the Soul Guide Lantern. And we'll start by exiling an Allosaurus Rider. I don't think that really matters. Okay. Play out a Delta. Mill 3. Fetch with our Delta. We'll mill another 3. And I think we'll just get... Maybe we just get our basic Swamp here. Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay. And we milled an Endurance here. From here... I wonder if we just Surgical now. I think we do. And then if they want to Endurance, okay, no Endurance. That's good. So they have double packed. They'll get to draw 8 more this turn. How do they win? What's the win con? How do they win here? Bid or deal? What is this? What am I missing here? Where's the win con? Okay, I'm not seeing what the win con is here. I'm missing something. But I guess we'll find out. Okay, moving back to their turn. They're going to get to draw another 8 cards. Play out another land, a Sanctum. We're going to get hit for 8, going down to 9. And then they pass the turn from here. Okay. I'm going to play out the Dark Slick. We'll mill another 3. And we're going to play out our bridge. And I don't know if they can win through this at this point. We'll see. They can't pact it. Okay, we got a bridge in play. So we're tightening the noose a little bit here. And they scoop. All right, 2-0. We're 1-0. All right, round 2, we are back. Clinical research with Dimir Mill. We are playing against with 31M J06SON. I think they're trying to communicate something through that name, but I'm not exactly sure what. I think our opening 7's pretty strong. We're on the draw. We're going to keep this. We're running with it. Feels pretty good to like have played against an endurance deck round 1 and still beaten it. This feels like scam. See if we're getting scammed here. It'll be interesting to see how scam feels from another perspective as well with another deck. All right, we're getting griefed. I wonder what the takes are here. Maybe crab and drown in the lock, or probably push crab, push my crab. Drown in the lock gives us an out to hit this grief. All right, there goes the push as expected. You gotta take our crab, people, right? Unless maybe if they have like a removal spell, they don't take the crab and they take the drown in the lock instead. All right, there goes crab. All right, fractured sanity doesn't really do anything. We'll play out our basic and then pass the turn. And I wonder if we just fetch basics here. I think our first fetch is probably going to be grave, and then after that we'll probably be fetching basics. All right, a Ragavan on turn 2. We will be able to deal with that, so we can drown that. And I imagine with this deck as well, you're holding back your fetch lands until like the last possible moment. I wonder if we fetch here or not. I feel like with this first one we do, just to preserve our life a little bit. Okay, Delta. So many fetches in this deck. And we're going to drown this Ragavan right now. Because if they do have like an Undying spell, they'll be able to bring it back next turn. And then our next turn, we're going to get Jason play, and we're going to plus targeting the grief, and it will buy us some time. So we'll take a hit for 4, we'll go down to 10. And now if they don't have another land, I think we'll be doing okay-ish. Surgical, okay. I'm going to fetch basic here. We're going to go down to 7 life. And we're gonna stall a little bit. So they have a 1/3 grief. We'll see if they attack into us or attack into the Jace here. Also see if they have a Fury here. I have to make sure I turn off auto yields. Definitely don't want them to bring back a Fury. Okay, there's a Fury. Discarding a Kolaghan's command. I also don't want to take 2 off this surgical, but you might maybe have to. It turns it into a 1-turn clock either way though. Okay, Fury's gone. Sure. So we'll go down to 6, then to 2, and then lethal. So we got 2 more turns here. Need to find an answer to this grief. And I don't know that land is it. I think we'll start by cycling here. And we'll draw a card. Another land. Not great. I'll play out that land, and we'll pass the turn from here. And then draw step. If they had like a lightning bolt in the graveyard, I think I'd hit it. Maybe draw step I hit. I'd probably just wait, I guess, just in case we can kill the grief, leave the surgical back. Or maybe we surgical the Fury and then Tasha's them and hope that we get like their entire library. Alright, we're going down to 2. If they have a bolt, we just lose. It feels like we're losing. Alright, there's the bolt. We'll concede. Okay, game 2. Game 2. Okay, so I think Crypt Incursion feels decent. Soul Guide feels good. Extra Fate feels fine. I'm not sure about Bridge. Like they have Kolaghan's command, so they can get rid of that. I think we go with these 7 cards. I think that's the game plan. And then from here, what are we going to get rid of? Sanity feels so-so. I'm not exactly sure what to cut here. I feel like we just shave like random cards, maybe like a Visions. Visions can get us back in the late game, but I don't know that we're going to be in a late game because they're just so fast. Maybe 2 Tashas. Jace is pretty nice. Fractured Sanity is essentially a 2-drop. 2 Crypt Incursion, 3 Soul Guide Lantern, 2 Extirpate. We'll stump a second Visions. This might be completely wrong, I don't know. Shave an Archive Trap. Like, we're playing a very defensive role here. I don't know. Maybe I just get rid of all the Tashas. Drown. I really don't know. Drown is removal too, so I feel like we want that. Alright, maybe only bring in 1 Crypt Incursion and shave an Archive Trap and a Fractured Sanity. Or shave 2 Archive Traps. No. Shave a Jace. We'll shave a Jace. No. This is tricky. Tricky. Shave a Crab. I don't know. I don't know what to do. We'll shave a Visions. We'll shave a Visions on the play here. We might change that on the draw. Okay. On the play here, I think our opening 7 is solid. We're going to keep this. It's a very interactive hand, so we like that. And I think I'm going to lead with a Shock into our Soul Guide Lantern and pass the turn. So if they have a turn 1 scam hand, this will cut them off of that. To make sure not to auto yield here. Okay, and they just pass the turn after a basic swamp. We're going to play out our basic, or our Delta, and then we'll pass the turn from here. Don't really have much we can do from this point, so we're just gonna hang tight a little bit. Hoping they fetch. Looks like they might. They do. I guess maybe there's a consideration for me to Archive Trap. Okay, maybe we... I think this is fine. We'll just push this and then trap them. We'll just do this now just to speed things up. And we'll trap them. Good. What do we hit? Hit some pretty good stuff there. And then I'm actually going to fetch here as well. Actually, I'm going to get a basic. Maybe I should have waited on that. Just because we're going to be playing out our Jace this turn. Land. I guess maybe there's an argument that I wait on the Jace. I can mill 3 and... No, we'll just uptick and then we'll try to draw cards next turn. Depending on what they do. See if they have a Fury. They have 7 cards in hand. Maybe I'm just supposed to like wait on this until I actually have the draw 3 card ability with it. Maybe that's the move. So maybe I rush that out. 2 mana, 3 mana. Magus of the Moon. Okay, sure. Alright, another Soul Guide Lantern. I think we're going to be using that on ourselves. And we will, I think we'll draw a card off that. Alright, we got ourselves a Crab. So any land we draw from this point forward will be useful. They have 6 cards in hand. Okay, EE on 1, sure. They're gonna pop that. I think we just let it happen and yield through the turn. They're up to 17 cards in their graveyard. Target player mills 3, then if they have 20 or more, we draw 3. Alright, we're gonna be drawing 3 here. Not too shabby. And then the question is, do we draw another 3? They'll attack this for 2. I think we're gonna Visions now. Okay. Maybe that was a mistake. Maybe I was supposed to wait on that. Alright, we'll play out our land and we'll pass the turn. The game plan here is going to be to get the next Jason to play and then just try to like mill him out from there, I think. Really could use a black source right about now. Pretty evident. We'll see if we get the chance to do that. I feel like I probably have not played this game optimally, if I had to guess. There's definitely room for improvement with my my play here. Alright, so Fury is going to hit our Jace, I would imagine. Sure. Okay, that one's a little unfortunate. They're going to strip a card out of our hand. I guess they take the Jace most likely. So that represents 3 cards for us. They have 1 card in hand now. Alright, there it goes. Okay, they swing for 2 with their Magus. I feel like if I knew what I was doing, I might not be in this situation. Like, I might be doing better here, but I think I probably did not play this optimally. Alright, we'll start with Sanity, draw a card. We drew a fetch land. All right, so we have just a complete blanks in our hand from here. Now they can actually Dolthy, get our Jace, and then draw 3 cards from there. I don't think that that's the best move. I think they just try to clock us, but it's definitely an option if they wanted to. If we can draw into our basic swamp, it just opens up the floodgates, though. That would be ideal. All right, crab people. It's fine. Not terrible. It does something. They're down to 31 cards. Okay. And I think we might be priced into blocking here. I would imagine there are no bolts in their graveyard as of right now. So this might even just be like push, attack, and then kill us. They just showed me the bolt before combat. I would have just scooped right then and there. I guess they don't have it. All right, another crab. But, I mean, they have lethal here, but we'll play it out. Whatever. And we'll concede. Can't win from there. Okay, we're 1-1. All right, match 3, Modern League. We are playing against Yanti. This is Dimir Mill. Our opening 7 is strong. We're going to keep this. We are on the draw. We can't win a die roll here, but it is what it is. All right, they go basic island, pass the turn. So one of the things I was thinking about with this deck that I wasn't sure is like if you just, okay, well that makes it an easier decision. But if you have crab turn 1 and nothing else, do you just like wait to play it on turn 2 so you can definitely get the mill, or do you cast it out? And here it appears very clearly that you cast it out. All right, they're going to dismember this. So this might be like some sort of a Tron variant. Oh, this is Merfolk. Okay, duh. Not a Tron variant. So we do need to keep an eye on our Watery Grave here because it will give them Island Walk. So that's going to be the last land we play out voluntarily. Fractured Sanity. So I think I might start by surgicaling this Dismember so we can keep our crab alive. So I think our crab's going to be pretty important here. I think their hand's actually pretty weak too. Forest, Vial, School, and Lord. Sure. We'll play out our crab. Play out our swamp. All right, 3 into the graveyard. Moving on. So we'll take a hit for 3. But we will be able to drown one of these things on their next turn. All right, this is Lord number 2. We're going to go down to 15 here. Our best draw, I think, is a fetch land from here. All right, there's the Aether Vial. They have 2 cards in hand. We know about the Force Negation, so if they have a blue card, they will be able to hit our drown. So we'll see. Another Fractured Sanity. All right, we're going to start with the drown and then see what happens. If they do force this, we're in a little bit of a tricky situation. They do. They drew a Harbinger. All right, I think we have to play out our land. I don't think we can afford not to. Then from here, we do need to draw another land. We need to get this Jace into play to slow them down a little bit. Like, Jace definitely feels like a really strong card up to this point, but it doesn't seem like it really changes too much. We're down to 9. They have 1 card in hand. Let's see if they have another creature. All right, that's pretty good for them. All right, so they have lethal on board from here. Otawara, not bad. And Jace only slows them down for 1 turn. But we do need to cast it. Kind of in a tough spot here. And we'll hit the Lord of Atlantis here. I don't know if we have an out from this point. I don't know if we can mill their entire deck, maybe like a Tasha's. But even Tasha's, I mean, that's going to be... It's so mana intensive. They might even just swing face. Just disregard the Jace here. 1 card in hand. Vials on 2. Attacking Jace. Attacking Jace. Okay, Jace is going. Alright, they play out a Mutavault. Pass the turn. Once again, they have lethal again. And we drew into a Surgical. So I think we have to lead with a Fractured Sanity cycle. Which I'm not sure what that accomplishes here. Alright, we got a Flooded Strand. Play our land. Get another 3. Sacrifice here. Get another island. And Surgical the Dock Hand, I think. Just because there's only 1 in the graveyard. I really don't think there's anything we can do to win from this point, but we're gonna do our best. They only have 1 in the deck. That's really weird. Very strange. Okay. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So their total mana cost is over 20. So even if we had a Tasha's, it wouldn't have done it. Okay. We'll cycle again. Okay, drew another land. All right, we'll scoop. Game 2. I feel like game 2 this might get a little bit better. We got engineered explosives. We have crypt incursion. I don't know if bridge might be good enough. We'll see. And baleful mastery seems fine-ish. Try that. So we're just basically just trying to slow them down until we can get our game plan online. I think our archive trap is really bad against them. They don't have any way where they're searching their library. Sanity is kind of slow. Surgical seems medium as well. So we'll go with this. Maybe we keep one more sanity and dump a surgical. I think that's fine. Drop the curve a little bit. All right, opening 7. Like this hand, the strength of it is ensnaring bridge. I think we'll keep it just because we have some interaction. Maybe we should mold this. This might not be good enough. We'll see. Like we don't have any way to put cards into their graveyard, so Drown in the Loch isn't very good right now. Okay, turn 1 Vial, sure. Draw a card. Okay, so that's a piece of interaction. That's nice. Crypt Incursion, sure. We'll yield through the turn. Bridge isn't doing too much right now because we can't really empty our graveyard, but we'll see. See what it does for us. My hope is they cast a creature here and now. Okay, second Vial. Alright, so I think we're going to go Tasha's this turn. Let's try to start milling them out. 14 cards we hit off of that. Not too shabby. We do need to start getting some cards in their graveyard, though. Taking up the Vials. We're going to be on a quick clock very soon, so need to start making moves. Alright, Tide Shaper. They're going to hit our Swamp. This is pretty bad for us. That's a 2-2. Alright, Dark Slick is fine. So I think we'll play this out. I think we're going to Baleful Mastery just to get our hand size down a little bit. And then we'll play the bridge on the following turn. Right, there's a Merfolk of the Pearl Trident. Or Master of the Pearl Trident. Oh, I should have just played out the bridge. That was a big mistake. That was stupid. I thought I had a swamp up, but I don't. It's an island. That was dumb. That might hurt. Alright, we'll take a hit for 5. That was a big oops. Alright, they have 2 Vials, both on 2. Okay, we drew our millionth island here. Okay, from here, I'm going to play out the bridge. And then what I can do is Mastery the Master and then Drown the Tide Shaper on the following turn. So I think that's the move there. What you're thinking. I wonder if they have a Hex Catcher and they're debating whether or not they should sacrifice a bunch of cards. Okay, I think we're going to respond to this. No, I think we let this happen. If this is a Hex Catcher, we'll just pay and make them sacrifice 2 creatures. Okay, another Lord, sure. Alright, here's the Hex Catcher, sure. Okay, not too much we can do about this. We'll pay the 1. There's a chance they can just kill us on the next turn. Activate the Mutavault, sure. Sacrifice the Mutavault, 4, 7, 9. We're going to take a big hit on their next turn. I think they sacrifice 1 more. Okay, and they do. Okay, so we're okay with that. That wiped their board and put a bunch of cards in their graveyard, so I think that was important for us. 3-3 Master, sure. 3, 7, 9. We're going to take a pretty big hit this turn. We'll see what they have in their hand. Okay, we're down to 6 life. 2 mana, Ratchet Bomb, sure. Alright, they're hellbent. So we got options here. Alright, there's a Rune Crab. So from here, I guess we can go Rune Crab, mill them, drown the Hex Catcher, and then Mastery, or drown the Shaper, and then Mastery another creature during their turn. And then we can block with the crab people. Okay, there's 3. So I think we drown the Shaper now, and then during their turn we'll Mastery. Feels like this is a pretty close game. Let's see what they draw into here. Hopefully they brick. Alright, they're moving to combat. We're gonna hit the Master, and then hopefully we can block this this Hex Catcher. Alright, Force Negation. We will. I don't think we block here. I think we go down to 1. 1, 2, 3. We're gonna gain 9 life on the next turn. It didn't pop the Ratchet Bomb. Engineering Explosives for 2. I think that's pretty good. 1, 2. And then we'll use the Crypt Incursion on the next turn. Alright. And I think I'm just going to pop this now. And now if they want a ratchet bomb, it'll wipe their vials. And they do. I like this. I like this trade. Alright, feels good. Feels like we're getting somewhere. This is an interesting game. I like this. This is a good game. Alright, 1 life. We need to, like, if we draw a mill spell and then we can Crypt Incursion from there, that would be perfect. So let's see. Fractured Insanity off the top. Polluted Delta. Does nothing. I wonder if we just Crypt Incursion now to play around a Force Negation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll gain 15 if we do that. I'm going to be greedy. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait another turn. Alright, they uptick the Ratchet Bomb. They draw. Play a land. Okay. We're doing okay. Moving back to our turn. Alright, we got a crab. Play out the crab. Play out a fetch land. Alright, so we got 1 more creature there. Alright, I think we just pop this now. Alright, we're up to 19. And now if they pop the bomb, we'll be able to mill 3 more cards from here. So we'll see if they do that. And now almost any mill spell is pretty much, it's going to be close to game from there. Alright, they got a master, sure. Interesting they're not popping the bomb yet. Fatal Push, not terrible. We'll use this right now. And move to their turn. They untap, and they pass the turn. Once again, I'm surprised they're not using the Ratchet Bomb. A little strange. Okay, Tasha's was like close to our best draw. See if this just does it. They don't have a Force Negation. Right, they're down to 11 cards in library. Feels like we might get this one. Hexcatcher, Trickster. Okay, so I guess that makes sense why they didn't use the Ratchet Bomb then. Okay. We'll save this fetch land. If we draw another crab, they're going to pop the bomb now, I would imagine. Yeah. Alright, moving back. Yanti, what you got? We can still lose this. It's going to be a hit for 3. So we're on a 4-turn clock as it stands. So we do need to draw into something at some point. Okay, Fatal Push, not terrible. We'll use it now. Slow down the clock again. They have 10 cards left in library. Down to 9. Aether Vial, not great for them. Guess you take what you can get. We're down at 14. Draw. Alright, Bridge is pretty good. This might just lock things up for us. I don't know that they can beat a Bridge from this point. I think they're thinking about conceding. They conceded. Okay, moving to game 3. Game 3, I wonder if we bring in Mystical Dispute. That's kind of the card I'm considering. I don't know if it's good enough or not. Shape 2 Visions in the early game for 2 Mystical Disputes. Dispute feels like such a bad card though if they have Vial. I'm going to try it. I don't know. I feel like I'm really, really diluting my deck, but I feel like I kind of have to. Especially being on the draw here. We draw the 2 Visions that we had in our deck. Fatal Push, not bad though. I like this hand. I think it's fine. We'll keep it. We can put them on a pretty quick clock with double... Oh, we only have 1 crab. I thought we had 2 crabs. But I think this is okay. Alright, that wasn't bad. So we can preserve our life a little bit. Play out our crab, pass the turn. Moving to their turn. They didn't have a turn 1 Vial, which is nice. Alright, there's a Dismember. Dismember is of no consequence to them. They play out a Cavern. Naming Merfolk, if you didn't guess. Into a Master, sure. Okay, from here... I actually think I like Crypt Incursion. So we're going to shock, yes. Oh, that's the wrong card. Never mind. I thought that was that was the other thing. The removal spell. My bad. They kind of look similar artwork-wise. Just because this game is going kind of slow, I actually think I'm going to pass. I'm not going to use my Visions now. This might be a mistake. But I think I'm going to just hardcast the Fractured Sanity and try to get like really big value off of my Visions. Okay, so they have a bunch of creatures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 creatures in the graveyard, so Crypt Incursion is going to be really nice. Alright, here's a Hexcatcher. Best case scenario, I think, for us is if we draw land, is then we can go Tasha's, and I think they're going to have to sacrifice some creatures to stop it. Alright, there's a Merfolk, sure. Alright, so they're putting us on a pretty quick clock here. Land drop. Alright, Crab. Crab isn't great. So if I can go crab, visions, draw land. Not a land. Alright, so that's pretty bad. And they're pretty close to lethaling us here. Like we need to find a land, unfortunately. Alright, we got a land. Alright, we'll see how this one goes. And now I don't know that I can afford to return this Aboro to my hand. I think we might need it. Because if we draw another land, we'll have Crypt Incursion and we can pay for two sacrifices. Which might be necessary. Alright, here's a Dismember. We're fine with this. This doesn't really change anything. Take a pretty big hit here. 3, 5, 9, down to 2. I actually don't know if we have an out from here. We might just lose. There's a Vial, sure. I guess, yeah, if we draw land because they tap down, we'll be okay. As long as it isn't a shock land. 3. Does Bridge do it? I don't think Bridge does it. They have 20 cards. I guess we have to Jace, draw 3. Jace, draw 3, hope we hit. I don't know what we can hit from there, though. Really need a land here. We just need like one more turn, or one more land. If we had a land, we'd be good. Oh, wow. Wow, they let that go. Wow, that's crazy. I did not expect that. Okay. Oh, they had us beat, right? They had us beat. I thought we were losing that one. Yanti just gave us a shot. And now if we draw a land on our next turn, we can stick this Ensnaring Bridge. 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're on a 3-turn clock. Right, they have 1 card in hand. Oh, we drew a land. Wow, that's really good. Okay, Bridge gets into play. We might actually have a shot here. This is crazy. I did not think we were winning this one. Alright, so they can't attack with the Mutavault or the Master now. And then next turn, we'll almost be able to just empty our hand. If we draw another land, we will be able to. And then they're in a little bit of a predicament. Are we stealing this one? Let's see what they have. They have 2 cards in hand. Alright, and there's a land, which is really good for us. So we can almost just win from here. So I'm going to lead Tasha's. The next turn, I think I'm going to cast Jace for its full mana value, and then... Alright, they force that, sure. I don't think we need to rush here. I think we can wait, because we have the Bridge in play. Alright, Vial stays at 2. They play out a Fiery Islet. They'll draw a card, sure. This is exhilarating. I wonder, I was supposed to keep my fetch land in hand. That was a mistake, playing that out. That was an error. Okay, and from here, I mean, I can just empty my hand, get rid of the Hex Catcher. But I wonder if we just play Jace. I think we do. And then I'll leave up the Drown in the Lock. And then I'll plus hitting the Hex Catcher, I think. It's kind of a crazy game right now. A little bit crazy. They're thinking a lot right now. I wonder if they have something like an Otawara and they're debating what they should put back into my hand. Okay, they're gonna Vial. Another Lord, sure. Okay, there's the Otawara. Okay, so we'll let that happen. And then from here, I think I'm gonna drown something. I think we'll drown, I think we're actually gonna wait. No, we'll drown one of the 4/4s. We need to dodge them having a counter spell, drawing into a Force Negation. So if they do want to attack down this Jace, they're going to have to hit it with both their creatures now. They said GG's. We got there. Wow, 2-1. I did not think we were winning that one. In the name of research, we are back. Match 4 Modern League. We are playing against Fuya. We rolled the higher of the 2 numbers, therefore we will be playing first. Let's get them. Let's see how our opening 7 looks. It's really weird drawing hands and not seeing Yawgmoth cards. I'm not used to this. Opening 7, clearly not a hand we can keep. We're going to mulligan that. Going down to 6 cards. This is a keep. I mean, there's some pretty powerhouse cards in this hand, but we also have some duds. But I think this is a keep. Let's see what our opponent does. Fuya keeps 7. We'll keep this, and we're going to dump a Surgical here. See how this goes. Alright, turn 1. We will fetch with our Flooded Strand. We are going to... I think we have to shock here. Going down to 17. Play out our Crab Boy. The worst of the 2 Crab Boys. And pass the turn. Crab people. Alright, feels like Amulet. Seen quite a bit of this. Okay. So this is... we just need to get to turn 3. Cast our Tashas. That's all we need to do. We'll see if we get there. Drown in the Lock, not great. Play out our Field of Ruin. See if we can hit like a hammer off this. That would be great. Hit a Saga, a Sentinel. No hammer. Alright, we need one more land, people. One more land. Fetch land would be wonderful. I would not mind that. Saga goes up to 2. Basic plains. See what our opponent does here. Not much of anything. Alright. This is a fairly anemic start from our opponent. We're going to play out another crab, as we can't really do much. We'll be able to archive trap into surgical on next turn. And we might be able to hit a hammer. We'll see. And I think that's like best case scenario. See if they make another construct here. It seems they are. Okay. 4/4. They're going to search. We're going to be able to archive trap them. Let's see what they get. A Ginger Brute. Okay. We haven't gotten priority back yet, so we can't do anything with this trap as it stands. Taking a hit for 6. Okay, we'll take it. We are going to trap them now. And we dumped a hammer. Wonder if we take the hammers out of their deck. 1, 2. We've hit 2. We'll wait for now. It might be a draw step thing. Another Tasha's. Ugh, this is so brutal. They're pretty close to lethal. We will draw step this surgical. And I think we might be blocking on their turn. Alright, we'll hit the hammer. See what they got. Right, they got 1 in hand. Reality Chips, Stone Forge. Sigarda's Aid. Total CMC of the rest of their deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Alright, so they're over 20. We need them to get the Cauldron off of this Sigarda's, or off this Stoneforge this turn. We'll see if they do that. There's a Marsh Flats. They start by fetching. Temple Garden. Interesting. I didn't see any green card. I guess they have a Haywire Might. Is that what? We'll see if that's what they... Well, they can't get the Might with the Stoneforge. That doesn't make any sense. Let's see if they get the Cauldron. That's what we want. They do. Okay. We've fallen into our trap. As long as we can draw land. 1, 2. There's a chip. Sure. Alright, so we know their hand. They have Aid and Cauldron. If they get another turn, we're just going to die. So there's not really too much to do from here. We literally just need to draw land. So we'll block and we'll block. We draw land, we win. We don't, we lose. Can we do it? I honestly don't know how many lands this deck plays. I didn't check beforehand, and we don't. Okay. That's unfortunate. Okay. Draw a card. Another Tasha's. A land, 2 cards down. Okay. Post sideboard. We're going to bring in Engineer's Explosives. I might bring in Bridges. Unclear. Maybe Crypt Incursion. Feels like it might be too slow. Maybe Baleful Mastery. Maybe those 6 might be too much. I'm not 100% sure. We'll see. This matchup feels like it should be very favored for Mill, but yeah, I guess if you don't draw 3rd land, it's kind of tough. It's a little bit tough. Want pushes. Surgicals feel pretty bad. Actually, we can hit hammer off of it. Maybe we'll shave 1. Vision seems medium. We'll shave some visions. Crabs seem fine. Fractured Sanity seems medium as well. Jace actually seems kind of slow too. Maybe we get rid of the Jaces. Some number of them. And bring a surgical back. We'll go with that. We'll see how that goes. Alright, we'll be on the play here. Opening 7. I think this is a keep. This seems pretty strong. Let's see if we can get to turn 3 this time around with our Tasha's. We'll play out our Rune Crab and pass the turn here. So we're going to be able to mill 12 on turn 2, which is pretty nice. Alright, Sigarda's Age, we'll see if they have a 0 drop. They don't. Alright, we got our 2nd land, our 3rd land. Really, really good for us. It feels like we're going to win this game. And then from here, I think we'll fetch now, get a Watery Grave, and we'll mill another 6 cards. Okay. So I think they're probably dead next turn. Turn 3 kill. I'll take that. As long as they don't have any counter magic, which it doesn't seem like they will. Maybe they will. We'll see. Alright, Ginger Brute. No. So they cannot have any counter magic. Well, I guess they could have a Spell Pierce from here. That would be a little bit of a problem. I'll play out the Delta here. We'll see if any counter magic pops up. There goes Cauldra. Fetch. I think we get another... I think we get the basic Swamp here. Right, there's 2 Spell Pierces. We'll see if they have another one. If they do, we'll just lose from here. Oh, I mean, we might not lose. Okay, they have 3 cards left in their library. So they kind of need to kill us here. They definitely have a shot. Like if they get this Ink Moth and connect with it, which it seems like they will. Alright, seems like we're losing. This is unfortunate. I don't know what more we could have done here. Kind of just feels like the way it goes. Yep. Alright, Hammer do what Hammer does. Alright, we're 2-2. Round 5 of our Modern League. This is Clinical Research. We are playing against Leechington. We are on the draw with Dimir Mill. Our opening 7. This is a very iffy hand, I feel like. I feel like we might need to mull this one. Like, the Dren in the Lock doesn't really do anything. But we're on the draw. We have lands. We have spells. I'm going to keep this. This might be wrong. This feels very, very close, though. Alright, turn 1 planes. We'll see if we're playing Hammer again. It feels like we are. And this hand does not feel very good against Hammer. We'll see. Alright, Crab was a good draw. We'll play out our Dark Slick Shores into a Crab. Crab people. Let's go. We'll see if we just die on this turn or something of that sort. Sigarda's Age, sure. We'll yield through the turn. See if we're getting hit by an Ornithopter. A big Ornithopter. Got no blocks. Them having the Giver is kind of annoying, because it's gonna... Like, we can't kill the Ornithopter this turn, so we're gonna have to kill the Giver, chump block, and then kill the Ornithopter next turn. But I can't even kill the... Actually, okay, I will be able to, never mind. Save targets. I was gonna say for a second there. Alright, we'll drown this Giver here. We have to do this now because they can give this Pro Blue and just swing through if we do it on their turn, so... Gotta get it out of the way. Sure. Pro Black, you're welcome. They got 3 cards in hand. Alright, we will block as we have to. I feel like our best draw from here is like a Fatal Push, maybe. Alright, Stoneforge. Another Hammer. Okay. So that puts us in quite a predicament. They have 47 cards. I don't think Tasha's gets it done. Like, I can drown the Ornithopter and then they just suit up, they just hammer the Stoneforge. I guess the line is to... No, but I mean, even if I, like, Visions into a Surgical, that doesn't do anything because they don't have a hammer in their graveyard. I think I'm pretty much in trouble here. I think we just have to hope they make a mistake. So we'll see. We'll see what they do here. Alright, they swing with the team. This seems pretty straightforward for them. Alright, we'll drown the Ornithopter here. And then hammer number 2. Assuming it's targeting the Stoneforge, it is. And we will scoop. Alright. I mean, maybe I was mistaken. I thought this would be a good matchup for this deck, but it seems like it might not be. I feel like Bridge probably isn't good enough, because they can just Sigarda's Aid and put it in mid-combat. Maybe Extirpates. Once again, Jace feels slow. Maybe it's just 4 cards. Maybe it's not even bringing in the Extirpates. And cutting 2 Jaces, 2 Visions. Maybe that's it. We'll try it. Alright. Game 2. Another double field of Rune hand. This hand would be nice if we had a way to get a blue source, but we don't, so we'll mulligan this. I like this hand. This hand is interesting. We'll keep this, and I think we can get rid of an Engineered Explosives. I think that should be okay. Maybe we get rid of a land? I don't know. Cancel. Yeah, maybe we dump one of the Watery Graves. Alright, we'll go with that. They're on a 6-card hand as well. Alright, we're going to start on the Dark Slick Shores, just so we have Fatal Push up if we want it, and then we'll pass the turn. Leechington, what you up to? What you doing? Marsh Flats, fetch, with complete disregard for Archive Trap. Sentinel, sure. You can have a Sentinel. And I'm not going to play into that. I'm not going to... Oh, it's a little bit too late. I'm I'll play out the grave. I'll shock. We're going to push this right now. Just because I don't want them to blacksmith skill up. We'll pay for that. Kill it. Pass the turn. Moving back. Basic plains. Rising Canopy. This is reminiscent of last game here. See if they have another threat. A 1-drop. If they have a 1-drop, we draw into a land. That would be nice. Another 1-mana spell. Okay. If we draw a land here, that would be really, really good. Would love a land. Alright, that's a Rune Crab. That is not a land. Alright, so from here they have 2 cards in hand. I feel like the move might just be play out an explosives, maybe? Maybe I don't pay for it. No, I think I pay for it. Alright, your go. Now we just have to hope we don't die. I mean, they don't have an aid, they don't have a paladin in play as it stands. Alright, there's a Stone Forge. Let me get a Cauldron, sure. Oh, I need to turn off auto yields. I'm going to use this trap. We're going to take a hit for at least 1, maybe 2. Alright, there's 1, sure. And I guess if I trap right now, they get to draw a card off the Sentinel, so maybe I wait on that. We need a land here. It's not a land. Alright, that's kind of annoying. I guess I can just push the Mystic, wait another turn. No, I can't push the Mystic because the Giver. Well, that's annoying. Alright, we're going to pop this here now. Yeah, sure. You. Pro-black there. Alright, we're on a clock now. They have the Cauldron. Alright, here comes Cauldron. Depending on what they do, I mean, we can potentially beat this, but we do need to get a move on here. Alright, a second Archive Trap. So at this point, we need to hit... We need them to fetch. And I don't know that they're going to do that. I'm leaving up this Dark Slick just because I want to have Fatal push up just in case. Yeah, it would be pretty silly if they fetched from here. Alright, no blockers. We'll Fatal push this this Nexus. We'll cut them off a land here. And we'll go down 7. Alright, Field of Ruin was a good draw. That kind of does what we want it to. So I can go Jace. Jace puts me down to 5 though. But I can plus it and it slows down the clock a little bit. So I think that's actually what we do. Alright. So we're slowing down the germ just a little bit. Just a little bit. 1 mana Gingerbrute, sure. Gingerbrute is going to get through. We'll take a hit for 3. We'll go down at 2. We'll go down to 1, I guess. Crab. And they're attacking us. Okay. Alright, we're down 2. Alright, so we need to go pretty ham this turn. Alright, so Snow-Covered Island, not bad. We're going to be able to draw a bunch of cards with this Jace. So I think we start by popping and dumping the Canopy. And I think we get a basic island from here. And then from here, we're going to double trap them. So they have 15 cards left in their library. I'm curious what we can draw from here. So we can -4. Oh, we actually have lethal here. So we hit them for 12. Okay. Alright, we'll yield through turn. We got there. I did not think we were getting there that game. Woo! That was close. Game of inches. Jace was pretty good. Maybe we keep Jace in the deck. Maybe that's the move. Crypt Incursion could be helpful too. Maybe Crypt Incursion's better than a Jace. Maybe it's better than a Fractured Sanity or 2. Like, we're slowing down our clock when we start cutting these cards. Maybe it's better than a Visions. Just buy ourselves some time. I don't know, on the draw, these things all feel really sketchy. Maybe 2 Jace, another Visions, Sheva's Surgical, another Visions. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. I don't know. I really don't know. It feels like on the draw we're dogs in this matchup. I think this hand is fine. Drown in the Lock's a little bit weak, but I think we have to keep this. We'll keep. Alright, they keep a 6-card hand. They're on the play. Basic Plains, Sigarda's Aid. No 0-drop. Okay, we like that. Alright, we got a Crab. That's like our best draw. We're getting lucky here. Crab, pass the turn. Crab lets us drown in the lock whatever they cast. Alright, Double Giver. Double Giver's kind of annoying. They have 2 cards in hand. Alright, we drew an island. So from here, I I think we just play out our Delta and pass the turn. Plains, Inkmoth, Sanctifier. Alright, we're going to fetch. I think I'm just going to get basic Swamp here, just because of the way my hand is built. Alright, Hammer in the graveyard. I'm going to leave up the Drown in the Loch for a Hammer if they have one. And then next turn I'm going to EE and blow their board. Alright, Sentinel, sure. They'll draw a card off of it. Yeah, I'll block. This is fine. I want them to cast the Hammer out, so if they do it, it's fine. Sure. Like, the Crab is going to die anyway with the explosives, so this is a trade we're okay with. They'll get to draw a card. Alright, and that's actually pretty good too. Done. Sure, you draw a card. No. Give one of their guys protection. Protection from blue. Sure. Alright, we'll pop now. Then from here, I wonder if I just strip the hammers, or do I hit Stoneforge? I feel like Stoneforge is like the best card they can have from here, because it can get them a call draw. So we'll do that draw step. Stoneforge. Let's see if they drew one. Hammer and Drum. Alright, so they're not doing anything this turn. This is pretty good for us. They draw a card. There's another Sentinel. Sure. Alright, from here, so I can just dump the Sentinel, which I think is fine. Or I can Jace draw 3. Jace plus... Maybe I just kill this thing and just wait a turn. I think we're playing on our land regardless. Jace down to 15. No, I think I just passed the turn here. I think I play it a little bit safe. Just a little preservation. Life total preservation here. Alright, so they drew a land. We knew that. I think they're going to draw a card off the canopy here. Swing for 1. Sure, we're going to let that happen. And they might just scoop after this Drown in the Loch hits. Okay, that guy's down. Next up, we're going to have Jace. A second Jace. Okay. I'm just debating whether I Jace for... I think I pay the full cost here. I mean, they can't really kill us. And then I'll minus 3 times X cards. So if I mill 9, we'll get to draw next turn. Alright, we'll yield. So we'll get to draw at least 6 cards next turn, if not more. Alright, there's another Sentinel. I think that's our 3rd Sentinel in a row. 3rd turn drawing a Sentinel in a row. Draw a card off the canopy, sure. This is a fun little interaction. We can minus or plus the Jace, and then just kind of go crazy. I don't think we even need to do that, to be honest. We'll drown this. Yes. Right, we're going to start by drawing 3 cards. We know they have a Hammer in hand. I think we're going to plus the Jace. We'll draw cards next turn. Play out Field of Ruin. And then draw step, we're going to hit Hammer, I think. And I think that pretty much just takes them off the win. They have 3 in the graveyard, but I expect a scoop. Yeah, we got there. All right. 3-2. All right, so what did I think of Dimir Mill coming from the perspective of a loyal Yawgmoth player? The deck felt pretty similar to what you would expect prior to this new set coming out, prior to Phyrexia All Will Be One. I will say Jace is definitely a strong card, and it definitely helps the deck. It seems like it gives the deck a little more like late game oomph, you know, a little bit, you know, more gumption in the late game. I don't know what the right word is to use, but you get the idea. It helps get you to the late game with its plus ability, and then once you're in the late game, it really does fuel the strategy as copies 5, 6, and 7 of Visions of Beyond with more text. At the same time, I mean, the deck didn't feel like it was coming out of the gates too quickly. It felt maybe a tad more powerful than what it had been, but I don't know. Personally, as a Yawgmoth player and somebody who feels like the matchup is very favored for Yawgmoth, it didn't feel like that would really change too much. So that's just my 2 cents here. Nothing about the sideboard has really changed. That's all pretty consistent as well. But I think it was valuable to be able to play with this and get an idea just how things look from the other side of the table. And it gives you a little bit more perspective in terms of what to expect when playing against the deck. So This was cool. This was fun. I enjoyed doing this, and I'm definitely going to be doing more of this in the future, just to get a more comprehensive understanding of how the format works and how each deck operates. So hopefully my insight was helpful to you, and hopefully you can take that and use that in your own gameplay with Yawgmoth against the rest of the format, because obviously we all know Yawgmoth's the best deck and we want it to succeed within reason, because we don't want anything to get banned. But yeah, I think I don't think that this changes the matchup fundamentally. I think it's still the same matchup. You just need to be a little bit more conscious in the late game, not to give them 20 cards in their graveyard, and just to just protect yourself against this card. So that is it for the day. I will be back on Wednesday for with a Yawgmoth video. So if you missed Yawg today, it will be back on Wednesday. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this take, our new series. I wrote it down over there, so because I didn't remember what the name was earlier. Clinical research is what we're calling it. So once a week, every week, we'll dabble with another deck, and I'll give you my thoughts with respect to, you know, how the deck plays and how it plays against Yawgmoth. So I will catch you all next time. Everybody, be well, as always.